Hey guys, so as we're all on lockdown and we're all scratching our heads as to what to do workout wise as all the gyms are shut, I've had a little play around and I came up with some really good home workouts that we can all use. Hope you enjoy. Hey guys, so first up on the agenda is Barbell Row. Now I only have my missus weights, so I only have 20 kilograms, which includes the bar and the weights on the end. But that's okay, we're going to do high repetitions. So as you can see here, I am doing bent over row with a neutral grip. I do between 10 and 20 reps. I don't know, you'll have to count how many reps I'm doing. And then as soon as I've finished that, change the grip around to underhand, do the same amount of repetitions, but with an underhand grip. Now with these, you want to make sure you're getting that squeeze in your back. You're pulling back with the elbows every single time. Getting that stretch at the bottom and contraction at the top. Let's fast forward this bit because there's a lot of repetitions. And I did 4 sets of, as I say, 4 sets of 10 to 20 repetitions on each one. Okay, so now that one's done. Now we're going to do an old school exercise, something called good mornings. I'm sure there's other names. If you know this exercise by a different name, feel free to comment below and you can educate me on the name of it. So with this, it is a lower back exercise, but it does bring in the hamstring and the glutes a lot as well as your core, because I haven't got a belt and it's not a lot of weight, so I don't need a belt to be honest. But by flexing my hamstrings and flexing my glutes, there's my hamstring, there's my glute, I am stabilizing myself, keeping myself in a nice, safe position. I'm not rounding my back off, I'm sticking my chest out, sticking my ass out, there it is, and using my hamstrings and my glutes to stabilize myself. Repetitions wise, how many, Wilson? No idea. I think I'd started off about 10 repetitions and maybe did about 20 repetitions on the last set. This was just slow and controlled to get that lower back work in as well. Okay, so next up we're going to do one arm cable row. Now with this, the most important thing is the stretch and the contraction. They're both equally as important. So as you're at the bottom, you're getting that stretch all down your lats. And at the top, pulling back of your elbows, you're getting that contraction again. With this, you want to have the movement like you're sawing a piece of wood. Like you've got a massive saw and you're sawing a piece of wood. You're not going down and up, down and up. You're sawing a piece of wood. Because by holding it at that angle at the top, you're getting a better stretch. And then that's going to force you to have a better contraction at the top. For this, I'm using my cables that I actually use on set to get a pump. They're not the strongest cables in the world, but they do the job. So I've tied it around the bottom of my unit here to get a nice stretch, nice contraction, does the job. Oh look, there he goes, and I've taken my shirt off now. So we've got my shirt off and we're going to carry on with the exercise. Speed it up, you can see what's happening here. We're doing the same repetitions on the right as we are on the left. Repeating myself now, but the stretch is important on this. I did between 10 and 20 reps, as always, on either side. Bang! There goes the cable. As I just said, the cables aren't the strongest. Let's have another look at that. Rewind that, take it back, start it again. Bang! There goes the cable. Oh well, never mind, I've got spares. Okay, so now we're back on this side, and we are now doing high cable rows. Luckily, these cables are a lot tougher. These cable bands, they're pretty old school, pretty tough. They shouldn't snap. Famous last words, hey. Anyway, with these, cable starts off nice and high, pulling back in my elbows, and getting that squeeze in my upper back, my lats, my traps, and my rear delt. Now, rear delt is something that's very important for shoulder health. So I usually train my rear delts twice a week, with back and of course with shoulders. This is a great movement. I really enjoy this because if you really focus on the contraction, you get a great pump. My traps, my rear delts, they really pump up on this. Now, because this isn't a massive resistance, I've done really high reps here. I think 50 reps per set, but over the 2 exercises. So once I've done the high cable row, straight into a stiff arm pull down. Now this is a little bit like you're paddling a massive surfboard. Imagine you're on your knees and you are paddling out to sea on a huge surfboard. It's pretty much the same movement. This, I mean, as I say, contractions are always important, but it's the stretch on this. This is one of the great back finishers that I'll finish on in the gym because it's a great stretch. Okay, as I mentioned before, I've had to become pretty inventive. So out comes the dog. Now with this one, I'm going to call it the dog day row. There we go. Not many repetitions. Straight into a dog day squat. Yeah, okay. That's enough of that. Back to business. Come on, back to business. So yeah, we're back onto it. And same movements. I did quite a lot of sets on this. I think I ended up doing 6 sets because it just felt good. Big believer in that. If you write down doing 4 sets, after 4 sets it's feeling great, keep going. Especially these days when we can't even get to a gym. If you're feeling a movement, keep doing it. Bang, right, cut. Quickly, I need to explain to you guys how I set this up. I've had a few of you message me on Instagram and ask me how I set this up. Pretty easy to set up. I've used, as we're showing here, I've used a dipping belt. Just placed it over the door frame, and with the metal hoop, I've threaded the cable through that, slammed the door shut so it's nice and solid. It isn't going anywhere. But if you don't have a dipping belt, a towel works just as well. Same principle, roll it up, double it over, put it over the door frame, thread the cable through, and there you go, got a high cable row. Okay, now we're back to it. So on this one, I'm using the kettlebells. Same movement that I did earlier where the cable snapped. Do you remember that? If not, let's remember it. Okay, so this time we are now doing a kettlebell row. Now, what I like about these, even though it's the same movement, it's working a lot of forearm and wrist stability because you have to hold it out in front of you. You're not letting the kettlebell drop. So fundamentally the same movement, but bringing in other muscle groups. Once I finished that, I picked up the 10 kilogram dumbbell and did rear delt fly. Now I only have a 10 kilogram dumbbell, but it's actually quite a good one because it has a fat grip, meaning the grip is wider than a conventional dumbbell, which I like because it works on forearm and grip strength. Double whammy. So that's why I've paired it with the kettlebell row because, as I said, wrist stability and a bit of forearms as well. I did 5 sets of this, 10 repetitions per exercise. So guys, I should mention that if you don't have any equipment, no dumbbells, no cables, and you can't order any in, please don't worry because this week I'm going to upload a purely bodyweight circuit. And also, if you don't have any equipment, you can utilise your girlfriend. So here she comes. She's very light, so a nice easy curl for me. Just for fun, guys, but in all honesty, it works, you know what I mean? Pick people up, put them down again, there you go. That's weight training. So that completed my workout at home. I then followed it with a nice 5-kilometre run, as our Prime Minister is allowing it still. And I ran down the sandbanks, which is a beautiful part of the UK. Next time I'm going to put the GoPro on and take you guys with me so you can see the amazing views. Up until then though, please stay healthy, stay sensible, stay indoors, and keep liking, guys. Thank you. Speak to you soon. Bye.